Hello, everyone. This is Mystery, here to uncover life's mysteries for you for Taurus season. And right away, we have the Rune of Protection reversed. Wow. I just grabbed it there and just reached. Oh my goodness, we have another one reversed. We've got signals reversed. And disruption. So right away, I'm feeling very unsettled in my own life, but also reflected back with people talking to me about what's going on, the financial uncertainty, economical uncertainty, and ultimately struggling to see all of the challenges that are facing us as positive things. Whenever you have a challenge presented to you, you can focus on the problem aspect or you can focus on the solution aspect. Now, with the Rune of Protection butted right up against the reversed rune here, and this rune, which operates through reversal but is never reversed, disruption. You have to understand that things are going to materialize for you. However, they're not going to show up in the way that you want them to, and they're definitely coming on their own timeline. I was actually just thinking about this earlier today, how these great manifestors talk about how you have to feel it as if it's actually happening instead of wanting. And it's that desire which just builds more desire so that you're creating more wanting in your life. You have to actually let go of your expectations for it and be completely accepting of the place that you're in right then. And it sort of is like, okay, yes, it makes sense that that works because it would have worked anyways. People just have to learn to redirect their focus. Because if your subconscious brain is working on the feeling that you felt and your conscious brain has totally rejected any idea of what it expects it to look like, then it will definitely walk into your life. It's just a matter of whether or not you can see it through the disruption and through the signals that are getting crossed. This is signals reversed. Anybody who was here from way back when, I think that was in my first video, my first collective video ever, was signals. Or at least it was coming up a lot for me when I was trying to decide whether or not I was going to do runestones for free for people on YouTube and in the community. I definitely do not regret that decision. So there could be a sense of like futility, just wasted emotion that's overwhelming. Whatever is happening though, you're in the middle of the process. So take a second to clear out the old ways. I don't want to hear anybody telling me they can't wait for things to go back the way they were, because nothing ever goes back to the way it was. That's a fallacy. That's something that we tell ourselves, where there is no way to prove time even exists. We certainly aren't recreating anything from the past. Things are the way they are in this present moment. And to seek a future, especially one that ties neatly into the past, will cause you more disruption than you need. The disruption is already here. I feel like somebody's just going to be like spitting curses and can't understand that process of getting frustrated and overwhelmed and feeling like, okay, this is a lack of clarity, or I'm just don't have the awareness I want, or I'm inhibited. People aren't being clear with me. That in itself can be a form of protection. And that with this rune of disruption, flipping everything on its head, so that there's always going to be disruption and calamity. And I definitely feel like the rune stones are going to be spinning for you at the end of Taurus season, where we all slowly embrace our worth and our value. So we're in 2 degrees of Taurus right now as I'm making this video. I felt so much pressure, like, oh, I gotta get it done on the 29th degree of Aries, like a typical Aries. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I was so tired, and I really had to take a second to figure out, okay, where am I putting my energy? Where am I putting my value? Because a Taurus knows their value, and they've learned not to rush so quickly into things the way an Aries might. So I took a moment to really have some self-care, which is a lot like what this woman here does. She's the woman that lives in this house, an old eccentric lady, and she makes paintings of everyone. And no one really gets her while she's alive. But then when she dies and they're cleaning out her estate, the city finds that this woman they had all gossiped about and, picked at and not held in high regard had actually made the most beautiful portraits for everyone in the city. And it's sort of about that eventual reversal through disruption, through suffering, through the stares and the what? You're doing what? Or having to tell people in so many words that whatever is not their business, and they approach you with something of, how are you dealing with this? Or if someone's getting too personal for you, to just know that that's on them. If they're pretending that they know you better than they do, you can just kind of let it fall on deaf ears. Just don't even pay them any mind, and stay in an empress type energy of knowing your worth and knowing your value. And recognizing that those other naysayers have their own value that you might have trouble to see. It doesn't mean that they should steal your smile. Basically, keep your spirits up. Gemini season is right around the corner. Once you start following the tropical zodiac as your calendar and look more towards astrology instead of the Gregorian calendar, you'll see how quickly they just roll, the times, the movements and the shifts as we go around this sun. And I feel like a lot of people are waking up to a more instinctual clock. Now that people are working from home or not working, or they are working but their life is just so different. It's like, what day is it again? Because the whole Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday never actually made sense. When you go back and you research the systems to control and orient people in worship or day-to-day life, like, there's reasons behind it, and not all of them were great. Okay? Even some that were initially bringing people together, now are putting them apart, putting them at odds with each other. However, there is a bittersweetness to this isolation when you consider that it gives you time to reflect on your actions, your past actions, and what you might be prone to doing in the future, so that you can become a responder instead of a reactor. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope that this video finds you well and that you are looking forward to the future, because there is so much for everyone. It's a very trying time for people, and there are challenges. If you can keep your head screwed on straight through all this disruption and keep a smile on your face somehow, you know, both of these cards too they do deal with death, and remaining optimistic and understanding that there is a cycle that's happening and there are forces so much bigger than you